Well, hi everyone. I'm John Retland, back with another ranking video. This is every Conjuring universe movie ranked from worst to best. I'm taking all 7 of them, human centipede them together, presenting it in one video for you. And I did full reviews of 4 of these, so you're not going to get every single detail of every movie. Those reviews haven't gone anywhere. Please check them out, and also check out that maybe I praise some of them a little bit too much. But I do love me a good horror movie, and a bad horror movie. If I praise, rant about it, whatever. I'm also going to be including spoilers. Sorry if you haven't seen any of these. That's your warning, because I am going to be spoiling some stuff in all these reviews. But some of these have been out for quite a while, so I'm very sorry. If you've seen all these, please let me know your rankings in the comments. Also, I'm kind of excited for The Conjuring 3. I hope it's pretty good. They're also working on our Nun movie for some reason. And they're working on The Crooked Man, the top-hatted character from The Conjuring 2. Yep, they're giving him a movie. You know why? These movies make bank. They don't cost much, and they make a whole lot in the U.S. and worldwide box office. So, as a lover of horror movies, let's talk about number 7. Annabelle. This was a pure fucking cash grab. Because you had the doll from the beginning of the first Conjuring, terrorizing those nurses. Oh my god, why is this doll so evil? We get a little more backstory. And the backstory's kind of shit. It actually gets a little bit better with another Annabelle movie. I wonder if we can guess which one that is. But the first act of this movie is actually pretty good. You have a pregnant couple. The woman's collecting dolls, including the titular character. I'm sorry, I'm laughing internally at the word titular. Now, externally, I'm mature. I'm not. But she gets the Annabelle doll, and it's terrifying anyway before it gets possessed. Like, how the fuck would you have that in your house, especially when you're an expecting mother? But anyway, this, evil couple, this death culty couple, they, enter their house. The woman even says, "I like your dolls." And it's actually pretty, chilling stuff. As far as, being a cheesy knockoff horror movie, just a spin-off as a cash grab. And then she ends up getting shot, bleeds into the doll, and that's how the doll becomes all possessed and everything. And then the wheels come off of this thing. That wagon is dragging. Holy fuck, that movie really goes downhill afterwards. Now, it's actually not that bad till then. And then it just completely descends into just full-on bullshittery. The whole the devil, the horned creature, whatever it is holding the Annabelle doll at one point. I was trying not to laugh. It looked like a PlayStation 2 graphic and not good PlayStation 2. In the end, it was fucking bonkers and stupid and everything. And then we get to see at the end, somebody gets the doll for their daughter that's a nurse. Oh boy, yay, that's how it ties in. Yeah, the first Annabelle wasn't all that good. And I wanted it to be good. At least the first Annabelle movie, because then they go and do prequels. And then they do a sequel, and then they do a reboot, and a soft reboot. And no, they're probably going to end up doing reboots at some point. But yeah, the first Annabelle, not all that good. Now, this one, I wanted to like The Curse of La Llorona. I wanted to like this so much more than I did. It was atmospheric, and that's it. The Weeping Woman or the Weeping Widow, depends on what version you believe. But if you hear her cry, well, you're fucked. And it had Linda Cardellini, who still looks goddamn amazing. I say that like she's ancient. I'm just saying she still looks as fucking great as she did in the Scooby-Doo movies. But she's a mother that has kids she's trying to protect and stuff like that. And here's how it ties into the Conjuring universe movies. You have the old priest that took the Annabelle doll and then was thrown around and stuff like that, and he knew the devil's power and stuff like that. That's how they tied it in. It was one of the loosest tie-ins. It was pretty fucking silly. This is also this is also going to be the director of The Conjuring 3, which kind of gives me pause. Now, he did good atmosphere here. The cinematography is actually pretty good. But other than that, this movie was not scary. It was one of the most disappointing movies of last year, which I feel bad about saying because I was excited. I was like, oh, the trailer. I'm like, oh, it looks so good. Even if it's not great, I'm going to love it. And then I'm watching it, and about halfway through, I'm like, God, no. Why? Why couldn't this be better? Why couldn't this be what I wanted? Man, raced from work to go to a theater 30 miles away to watch that at night. But anyway, it's a little bit better than Annabelle because at least the tone's kind of, constant throughout. But also the ill-timed comedy and stuff like that. It just seems weird how they did the comedy. I mean, I know that's how some people handle, bad situations. But yeah, this one was pretty disappointing. Now, what should have been better, and I praised a little bit too much, Annabelle comes home. The jump scares are what kills it. Because now they had a lot, basically the idea here is Ed and Lorraine Warren, so Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, who were in the movie for all of 10 minutes, are taking Annabelle home after the first movie. And then, or this is like during the event, this is between the events of the first movie. Maybe it's during, maybe this is when they go off to the other house and everything, and they're doing this stuff, and they leave their daughter and the babysitter and the babysitter's friend to fend for themselves in this house full of spoopy objects and stuff like that. And everybody and one girl touches everything and releases them because that's what you do in a cursed room. You touch everything, but she has experienced loss, so you have to appreciate her because she experienced loss. They had the ferryman, a whole bunch of stuff in here, and it's also a cheap movie because it takes place around the house and entirely in the house after Ed and Lorraine get back, from getting Annabelle and going through the cemetery and the weird stuff. And yeah, I really should have rated this movie probably about a grade and a half lower than I did because, and I like it, don't get me wrong, I like parts of it. I thought there were some cool atmospheric shots, but this was the definition of people relying on characters to do something monumentally stupid just to advance the plot. And it just, I don't know. It just felt like it should have done so much more since it was centralized in the house. And it feels like there was a lot of missed potential. Now, was it terrible? There were terrible parts to it. I feel like the movie almost wrapped back in on itself, and the doll being in that cursed room in that enclosed space where you have to go back in the enclosed space and bless it and everything, and then it's okay. I don't know. Annabelle Comes Home should have been better than it was. This one was tough. The Nun. I was also excited for The Nun. Because this one was atmospheric. Taissa Farmiga. I always screw up her name. I loved her in American Horror Story. In some season of American Horror Story. And there was some good stuff to it. Because this also tied into the first movie. The first Conjuring movie. And it was, and the second one. Because it was about Valak. Valak. However you want to say. Vulcan. There we go. The Vulcan death grip. No, moving on. This was something I was really excited for. And I thought Taissa was great in it. I thought she was good. I thought the thing had some good atmosphere. I thought it had a great opening sequence with Valak pursuing these nuns and everything, and this cool shot of like going down the hallway and the lights going out and stuff like that. But the problem is you don't get to see Valak all that much. It's like they were afraid to show the nun in a movie called The Nun. There were some cool parts, like where all these nuns got wiped out, and this, weird sequence where it was like trying to drown, the nun was trying to drown, trying to take over and all this stuff and everything, and then the nun gets killed in dispatch, or does it? There's this guy that is suddenly possessed by it, and the nun somehow manages to get out of the facility, or out of the church, the monastery, despite not being able to, leave there before. Maybe need a human host. Gets a human host somehow. And then that ties into the beginning where they show the first film. They show a little bit of a film, Ed and Lorraine Warren do about, this very uneducated individual who spoke some of the best Latin after he got possessed. And it turned out to be this guy, which I actually thought was a pretty cool way to tie it in. The Nun had good atmosphere and just a bit better atmosphere than Annabelle Comes Home. But now we get into the good stuff because we get into Annabelle Creation. I really wanted to put this number 2. I just couldn't quite. It's close to number 2 though. And here's why. I fully expected this to be absolute dog shit. I'm like, you're doing a prequel to a movie that was a fucking cash-in. This movie's going to be bad. This movie's going to be terrible. It's going to be absolutely fucking terrible. It's going to be goddamn rotten. Because prequels traditionally aren't all that great. Except if you take a look at Ouija, and then you take a look at Ouija Origin of Evil. That was pretty good. And there are some other prequels, on occasion, that are better than the film that, is not the prequel. Basically, the film they precede. Moving on. This was terrific. From the opening part where, you have the guy trying to change his tire, he loses a tool, the daughter says, I'll get it, goes, boom, car hits her. And then they're all freaking out and everything. The parents freaking out. Understandable. They take on the burden. Well, they say the burden. But they take on, orphans and, help them and everything at their house, trying to ease their sin of letting their daughter die. And then it turns out the Annabelle doll's in there. you know, why wouldn't you keep a cursed doll in your house? But it turns out it kind of all ties together and stuff like that. And you got this one girl that's disabled, so to speak, as far as her legs and stuff like that. And there's this cool chairlift part where, oh no, she can't get down the chairlift and she can't get down the stairs very well. And there's pretty cool, like, atmospheric stuff in this. I really like this. This is another one I did a full review of. And I really, really enjoyed this one. And what I like about it is that it even teases Valak being in there. Valak pushing her into and I'm pretty certain I'm pronouncing that wrong, pushing the girl, in her wheelchair into the shed. You're getting all this spoopy stuff and everything. And then she finally gets possessed, and she's got this best friend, and the best friend's just disappointed because she lost her best friend. She's like, oh, no, this kind of stuff. The girl escapes. And I'm like, oh, the girl escapes, okay, and everything. And then I see it. I remember I get goosebumps just thinking about it, because remember I see orphanage, or it's like, or I'm like, oh, and I see it's the couple from the first Annabelle, the couple that got torn apart. They adopt a girl who seems all nice and sweet and everything, and then we advance in our number of years. They're sleeping in the room, and the girl shows up, hello, mother, and it's the woman that said, I like your dolls. That one. I'm like, oh, that was good. That's how you do a fucking prequel. That was goddamn fabulous. That was great shit. I really enjoyed it. Was it a perfect movie? No. But was it goddamn great? Oh yeah, it was way better than I expected. Now we get to number 2, though. Annabelle Creation was great. The Conjuring. You want to play hide and clap? Ow. Sorry if I burst your eardrums there. It was good shit. It was fucking great. His family moves to this house. The dog doesn't want to go in there. Why would you trust the dog? Never trust the dog. And then Lorraine Warren have to go there, and they have to fight off the ghosts and everything. And this was really good stuff. Now, there was stuff spoiled in the trailer. I would advise that if you haven't seen the trailer in a while and you want to revisit this movie, don't watch the trailer, because they do spoil a lot of scares there. But it was exactly how you do horror, like, modern, a modern horror movie, but with a classic setting. The music was great. It's one point where this guy has, I believe the sheriff shoots a door to open it, and just the way the music cues up, it's really, really good stuff. But no, it's fucking great. The atmosphere that they build. And, you got a great cast here. You got Lily Taylor. Lily Taylor was fucking great in this. It actually was a movie that introduced me to Joey King, who unfortunately has not gotten out of doing bad horror movies, which is a shame, because I think she's got a lot of potential. She had a really good scene in this with the I believe it was the older sister, like, standing right behind you. I can't do the voice like she did. I was like, okay, cool, she's got a future. And then she was in Wish Upon, and then she was in Slender Man. She's young enough. I really hope that she can, grow into a better career and do some better horror movies and everything. But everybody did some pretty good shit here, and it was just really, really fun. It was just really good. I really liked this. And sure, people thought the ending was a bit of a cop-out. I don't think so. I thought the scene where, Vera Farmiga's character gets in the basement, and then she's haunted, just haunted by the ghost, because after all that stuff that happened, with Valak, touching her head and everything, and her freaking out and being in her bedroom for like 8 days, because she has a gift, and all these cases take a piece of her. Well, that took a big piece, and so, Patrick Wilson, he's concerned. He's like, I don't want you to be hurt. Well, hey, we were put together, this kind of stuff. We were put together for a reason. It's about love and family and everything, and it's also about spoopiness. A lot of spoopiness. Also, trust your dog. So, number 1, come on. The Conjuring 2, Electric Boogaloo. This was fucking tremendous. Great shit. Absolutely loved it. It was set over in the UK. It was great stuff. I really fucking love this. I love this one. The fact that it was, twisted around with ghosts. You thought it was the old man that was the ghost. No, he was just a conduit. It was actually Valak. And just all the stuff, the setting, the house was goddamn great. The way, the camera work in this, the atmosphere. I know I said atmosphere a lot in this. So all these movies actually had some pretty good atmosphere. Some just lost it a lot sooner. Not like Apollo 18 that had no atmosphere. Ironically, because it was in space, but also because it was shit. The Conjuring 2, I just can't say enough good shit about it. Like, I really goddamn loved it. To me, it was like peak horror. It was one of my favorite horror movies of the last decade. How could it not be? Because it was goddamn amazing. It was scary. Really, really, it wasn't stretched out in a bad way. The way they paid off the scares really fucking worked. And, Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson reprising their roles, you get more of an insight in how they are as a couple and how they really want to help out this family. It's just really good shit. It's really, really good stuff. And also, Franca Potente, I think that's how you say it, the woman from Run Lola Run, is in this. That's a bonus because Run Lola Run was goddamn awesome. This movie is really, really good, and I really, really hope The Conjuring 3 is good because it's from the director of The Curse of La Llorona, and oh boy, I don't know why they're doing another Nun movie. Maybe they're doing a prequel to that. Which, you know what? Hey, if they're going to do a prequel to it, hey, Annabelle Creation wasn't all that bad, but The Crooked Man, I hope is good. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little bit of an insight on to the Conjuring universe movies. What are your rankings? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.